So we're going to start now. It's 2:30 now. The technical session 2, decoding the confusion in electrical safety. So decoding the confusion is going to start, by Dr. Rajesh Aroura. He's going to talk about the verification. Verification is similar to audit. So let's see, Dr. Rajesh Aroura. Sir, we are running short of time, so 15 minutes, wonderful. So you are discounting 3 minutes, okay. So let's see, I'm sure you'll keep the audience engaged because they all had a heavy food. Hello. So make sure that, you have a presentation to show here? Lagana hai the same people? Yeah.
No, different presentation. I am going to show.
You want the mic? You want mic?
I need collar mic if you have.
Collar mic, hai?
Yeah.
Boss, get a collar mic for him.
Hello. 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 Thank you. Should I start? Good afternoon and namaste. The topic is verification, and when I say verification, it means inspections and testing. Before I move to that verification part, I want to make you aware about the simple concepts related to electrical fire safety. Because understanding of verification is not important. The important part is related to fire safety concept, and I am not going to take much time. Every accident in my systems gives pain. We feel bad. We start cursing the system, we start cursing the management, we start cursing the facility around we have. But we forget to curse ourselves. We are all equally responsible for all the accidents happening in our system. This is the most common topic when fire and electrical accidents happens anywhere in the world. Short circuit, What happens at the time of short circuit? There is a flow of heavy current that tries to go back to the source, and because of the heating effect of that current, there is a heat, and when it comes in contact with oxygen and some combustible material, one thing starts, that is the fire. Then comes equipments and system earthing. I have already explained in the previous session. We need system earthing, we need equipment earthing to make sure that there is no electrical fire hazard at all. We talk about many things, but we never look at the main culprit for fire. Harmonics generated by all the gadgets we are using. We feel happy, yes, we are using inverter AC, microwaves, but we never look at the generation of harmonics by these gadgets. More gadgets generated by your systems, the more current will be taken by your conductor to meet you at the same load, and chances of fire becomes more. Although we have some IC standards in place, but still there are no IS applicable to take care of the harmonics being generated by these gadgets who gives us comfort, but that comfort at the back side creating problems. We don't look at that aspect. We always talk about renewable energy, solar PV, rooftop. But there is another fact associated with solar rooftop. When you install solar rooftop, it gives you active energy. Still the reactive energy is taken by your DT, and that DT who is supplying only reactive power becomes hot, the core becomes hot, and chances of failure of that DT becomes more. At the same time, when you are getting the only active power through your solar PV, your power factor will become low. To cater the same load, you will drawing more current and there are more chances of fire. We neglect that aspect. We talk about verification. These are simple things I am talking about. Because consumers are not consumers, they have become consumer right now. We have to think that way. In the present era, there is one thing which is loved, liked by everyone, in fact difficult to live without it. It is not electricity. You start your day with this mobile, you end your day with this mobile. It is your second loved one, apart from the loved one at your home. But with this small equipments, to operate it, you need regular charging. To charge it, you need a charger. You become very happy to buy 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees mobile phones for your loved one. When it's come to charger, you prefer to go to local market and purchase local. You never look at this IS 13252 and this symbol square in square that ensure the safety. This is the very first step of safety at home. Charity begins at home. And journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Change your mindset. System will change. Now, time to look at the small but very crucial and important things to ensure safety for your residential and commercial building. Let's begin. This is a general condition in the house of every engineer. You use extension cord or you use one socket. You want all your gadgets to be inserted in the same socket. You never look at the rating of that socket. You never look at the extension code capability, but you want all your gadgets to run immediately. First thing, when your appliances are not in use, why don't you unplug it? When your equipments are unplugged, the chances of fire hazard becomes 0. Make it a habit. It's a game of mindset. Change your mindset. The system will definitely be different. Lose connection. Get rid of the chalta hai attitude. Be sure all your connections in your systems are tight and accurate. Extension code should be used as a temporary basis. But what we do? We use extension code as a permanent solution. Once we buy and we fix it, then we forget. It remains in place for years to come. The purpose of extension code is defeated by making it permanent. Another important point with extension code, we put heavy load, heater load beyond the capacity. But we are worried about verification. That comes after that. First of all, we have to change our mindset. No one else is going to do that thing for you. You will have to do. We love to have carpet in our houses, and we want to have aesthetic look for my dining room, and we run that cable under that carpet. And we never look at the insulation. We never bother about the insulation condition. Then finally, one day that sparks happens and you say, what happened? Oh, we are responsible. We have to change our mindset. This general scenario. You keep your extension code laying here and there in the house, and finally it becomes the tripping hazard. And every tripping brings some TOV, transient over voltage. And any spark can convert into fire if precautions are not taken. Another important point, with heater we don't maintain the proper clearances. And I can tell you, by virtue of my experience of more than 20 years in different sectors, if you look at the causes of failure of any equipments and gadgets, the three primary reasons are three. 3C. Problem with connection, problem in connection with earth, and cooling and ingress of moisture. If you don't maintain proper clearances, you don't make it dry, you don't control the moisture ingress, you don't give proper cooling system, you don't do the proper coordination, you don't do proper care, instructions of protection system, these gadgets are bound to fail. No one can stop it. We never look at the illumination fittings rating before inserting any illumination lamp bulb into that fitting. Everything comes with a proper rating. And you look at that rating before you use any appliances at home. possible, use some alarm and replace the unit every 10 years. This is not important. Important part is for our smoke detector, I have noticed that thing. We are using simple PVC cable. When your fire alarm detection system is not equipped with the fire survival cable at the time of fault, how that can help you? Need to change mindset and the specification. Proper earthing and grounding, I have already delivered that lecture for 30 minutes. That ensure safety. Safety of your assets, safety of human beings, safety of livestock and your property. Proper selections of MCB, RCCB and other protection device. I tried my level best to get B-type MCB for my new construction of room, and I'm surprised to share that thing. I couldn't find B-type MCB in Delhi area. We are forced to go with type C MCB, and as explained very well by Gopal sir, it is not going to help you at the time of requirement. Apart from that, with our gadgets, we are using stabilizers. Stabilizers are the series impedance in the circuits of your tripping system. Be careful. Don't neglect small things to ensure that you are safe at your home. Harmonics I have already explained. Proper selections of cables and wire. You just go to the market, you won't find class 2 cable. Everywhere class 5. Time of fault, when heavy current is flowing, that 18% creates more heating effects, and that more heating effects finally lead to fire hazard. We have to use good quality gadgets. We have to avoid outdated, outlived, damaged gadgets. To take care of that aspects, new PAT, portable appliance testing, have been included in NEC 2020-23. Proper maintenance and condition monitoring. Proper protection coordination. You have already placed your MCB, but that must be coordinated to ensure that whatever you have installed in your systems is going to help, going to give you safety when it is required. Regular inspections and testing, that is the verification part I am going to start. You have to do verification as per IS 732. Every installation or change, addition or change to existing installation must be verified during erection as far as reasonably practicable and on completion before being put into service by user. We have to do inspection testing that normally be done prior to energization of the installation. Inspection shall be made to confirm the electrical equipment which is a part of installation is in compliance with the safety requirement of the relevant equipment. I have taken everything IS 732. These are the need of doing that inspection. And after inspection, these are 10 tests to be carried out to ensure that all the equipments, all the circuits in your domestic and commercial buildings are safe to operate, safe to use. These 10 tests are never done. Even these tests are not done in a proper fashion. All the contractors who is doing the wiring of your system even never come across these tests to be carried out, and they don't have instrument to do that test. We as a utility, we as a manufacturer, we as a owner of any building, at least we must have these testing equipments in our systems, and we should have proper training of doing that verification part before we start blaming the system. Before we start cursing the systems, government, management. For loop impedance is a buzzword. Everywhere you come across that word, but I'm quite sure 99% person even don't understand how to perform that test and which instrument to be used to perform that test, and out of the complete circuit up to distribution transformer, how to perform that test. If we perform some insulation resistance testings, we don't have the value to ensure whether my insulations are healthy or not. We don't do even the continuity of conductor. We never do the phase sequence test. We never look at voltage drop polarity test and automatic disconnection of supply. If we are doing with class C MCB, is not going to help when it is be mandatory, when it will be required to help you, because we have installed wrong type of protection system in our buildings and commercial houses. Already we have taken pledge, and with change in mindset, we have to change the nation, and we have to implement all the testings procedures that is called verification as per IS 732 and new test of PAT as per NEC 2022 to be implemented. And I am quite sure that mindset will change and we will be able to achieve zero accident for my nation. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Do you have any question to Dr. Rajesh Aroura?
Yes, yes, please.
Mike, please. Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I had a question about the harmonics that you mentioned. So, when it comes to circuit breakers and when you have harmonics in your fault currents, how do you ensure that you stay protected apart from using harmonic filters? Because if your fault current is not 50 hertz, like you said, you don't know if your circuit protected devices are going to trip.
Okay. Actually, you are talking about harmonics in the big system. I am talking about harmonics generated by gadgets at your home. You are using inverter AC. Wherever you are using some electronics converter, electronics devices, there is bound to happen one thing, harmonics. And that harmonics depends on the type of gadgets you are using. And I have done one experiment. I have that video with me also. For my inverter AC at home, it generated 21% of harmonics. And there is as such no regulation to take care of that. And you imagine that 21% of regulation by one AC at one place, and usually there are 5 to 4 ACs in a particular house. And if you count the total number of harmonics generated by all the gadgets in your systems, you can imagine the rise in that current and the chances of fire.
So your recommendation is to definitely build harmonic filters.
If we don't have harmonic filters for gadgets, at least we have some regulation to control the harmonics generated by these individual gadgets. some regulation should be there.
Sir,
So keep your questions for the panel discussion. So we'll reserve that questions once more. I think last question I'll allow him to talk. Yeah. No, no, yeah.
okay. Like we are talking about this verification and all. So who is taking care of all these verifications? Is there some mandatory part or
As per
like
new
what?
IC, it
Because
is
we are
mandatory.
talking about residents and all, no?
Basically what happens when you go for a construction of a new house, when you apply for electric connection, that must be verified by contractor, and as per rule that all these tests must be performed by that electrical contractor before submission of that paper to your utility for applying for new connection. But it is never done anywhere. You just get the stamp and it is submitted for utility for new connection. These are fact.
Sir, like we are, if I talk about a society, तो what happens कि एक सोसाइटी एक बारी खड़ा हो गया, ठीक है, उसके बाद जैसे टाइम टू टाइम फ्लैट्स बिकते हैं तो वो तो इनिशियली कंस्ट्रक्शन का पार्ट हो गया, तो
Every addition and alteration must be tested because you never know. For person who was living in that house prior to you having different circuit, when
Yes.
you shift new house, you you make some changes according to your requirement, and that changes must be verified once again.
Oh, thank you. Let's move forward. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Rajesh Aroura. We'll keep these questions for panel discussion.